Hello everyone, I'm Oliver from Lenses.com, and in this video tutorial I'll show you how to create this snowman scene in Blender. In this first part of 2, we'll see how to model every part of the snowman using some cool modeling tricks along the way. It's very cold, so let's go inside Blender and warm up. So we need to start by creating a polysphere, and I will show you now what is a polysphere. Now, if we go here and create a mesh with Shift A, we can just see that we have a UV sphere and an icosphere. Now the icosphere is not probably the best option. It may be useful for some cases, but it's made of triangles completely, so it's not useful most of the times. And the UV sphere is kind of weird. It's the usual one, but it's something like this. So as you can see, in the middle part of it, it's made of squares, but as we approach to the poles of the sphere, the polygons are completely stretched out, and here we have a lot of very long triangles, which makes the topology a mess to work with. It's very useful for some cases though, because it allows us to create things like eyes, okay, because we have a circular shape here, okay, and this is very nice for creating eyes and another type of objects. But for usual objects with spherical forms, is not the best way to go, because the topology is not completely uniform. So we need a uniform topology, and the way we do that is by creating a polysphere. A polysphere is a sphere created completely by squares, alright, polygons of 4 sides. So we can go here to the modifiers, add a subdivision surface to our cube, and as you can see, we get a sphere, which is a polysphere, right, completely created by a series of 4-sided polygons. Now what we need to do is to add on top of this, because this is not completely a square, I mean it's not completely spherical. If you can see, it's kind of a little squared yet. Okay, let's go here and apply cast. Okay, and here we select the sphere, and as you can see now, it should be more spherical. If we put this on 1, this should be completely, absolutely a sphere. If we create a new sphere, UV sphere, you can see how the shapes are mostly the same. Okay, completely spherical. So that is really nice, because now we have a 4-sided sphere. What we need to do now is to just apply these modifiers, and we already have our polysphere. Nice. So this will be the head of our snowman. So let's put it up. Let's duplicate it and scale it. This will be the body, something like this. All right. There we go. We can scale this a little on the Z-axis, something like this, and this, bring it down a little bit. That's right. Okay. Now, what comes next? We can apply a subdivision to this one. So they have more or less the same amount of polygons, because otherwise this one has, both of them has the same number of polygons, but this one is much bigger. So we need a similar amount of polygons. So apply this subsurf, so we can edit it, and we can actually go ahead and sculpt it to, let's go here, object mode, sculpt mode. Select here the grab, and with F we can increase the size of the brush, and with Shift F we can increase or decrease the strength of the brush. Okay, so let's just change it a little bit, something bigger, something like this, to make it a little more organic. Okay, because if we make a snowman, chances are we cannot achieve a perfect sphere unless we are completely artist, like Michelangelo or something like that. And well, that can be the case actually. But if you can do a completely spherical, a perfect sphere snowball, please shoot a photo and send me. Okay, so this is a little more organic now. Let's do the same with the head. We have to go to the object mode, select the other one, and sculpt mode. Actually, with control, I think we can select different objects during the sculpt mode, but well, let's keep it this way. Make it bigger with F. Remember that shortcut, F and Shift F, for changing the size and the strength of our brush. Keep tweaking this one. Okay, something that like this would do it. Alright. Now I want to create the scarf. Okay, so the scarf, what I'm gonna do, instead of creating a new object and stuff, what I will do is to take advantage of some objects we already created. So I will just duplicate this loop that I selected pressing Alt and right click. And so I can press Shift D, duplicate it, press right mouse button to deselect it, to cancel the movement, and we can press P selection. This way, if we go out of the edit mode with tab, we can just select it. Okay, there we have it, and this is a new object. So we can now just press E and C to extrude it like this. And we can press S and C again to scale it. Press 0, and so now this will be completely horizontal. Right, so bring this down a little, like that. Alt right click to select the loop and bring this down again. Select everything with A and just move it around, because now we need to adjust it to the face and stuff. But first, what I'm gonna do first is to apply a Solidify modifier and just increase the thickness. And you can see that it's not working exactly as I expected. Alright, this is because we extruded it from here, so the normals may be a little off. So we can press Ctrl N to adjust the normals, and actually, okay, here the offset, let's put it on to 1. Alright, so the normals are extruded out and not in. Okay, so now we have this pretty cool scarf. Now let's increase a little the thickness, and let's apply a subdivision surface, something like that, with 2 subdivisions, something like this. And now just work with this. Okay, so now we have to adjust it to the face, and for that I'm going to apply again a subdivision surface to this one and another to the body. Alright, so we have a more accurate idea of how it's going to look like next. So let's just move these guys. We don't need to be perfect with this, because it's actually a scarf, which is a piece of cloth, and you know, it's something organic. So if we are too perfect, if we make a perfect cylinder for this, it will look a little odd. So if we keep it like more natural, it's better. Bring them closer to the face, and bring this closer as well, something like that. Okay, and now let's do the same with the body, something like that. As you can see, I'm moving only one from each two, because if we move this edge, we are moving this vertex, and if we move this edge, we are moving this vertex, so there is no need to go one by one. There we go. Okay, so we are done. Now this is let's decide which is the front side of the snowman, and I think this is the front side. So what I'm gonna do is to open here a little hole, because now what I'm gonna do is to select this face, Shift D to duplicate it, and let's rotate it like this with R. Now rotate it like this with R again. Just move it into it, the snowman, into the scarf, something like that. Bring it down a little, and we can now select the edge. I'm switching by pressing Control Tab. So press the edge and extrude it, something like this. Bring it up a little, and this is like this is not realistic, of course, but it will do for this exercise. Alright, so now we have the shape of the scarf going up there, and we can, with Control R, add another loop here to make it end in a little, not a very subdivided way, something like this. And we can probably add another loop there. Keep in mind that I press Control R, I select where I want to add the loop, press left click to accept. You can slide it and press it again with left click to accept where you want it, or press just right click to leave it in the middle. So this way I can just do a little adjustment like this. Okay, so now we have our snowman and our scarf. What I'm gonna do now is to select every object with A and go here to the toolbars and select smooth to make it smooth. All right. Now let's add more detail, a little more detail to the scarf, because here it is, touching the face. Here is touching the body, but in the middle there is actually a hole. So let's just add another, add a loop with Control R. We can scale it down to make it fit a little that shape, something like this. This is nice. So now let's go into the carrot. Let's create a carrot. So what I'm gonna do is to create a cylinder. Okay, let's go here. Do it a little, 6 vertices will be enough, and the radius and depth doesn't matter, so I'm gonna model it now. So we have something like this. Now I'm gonna model it apart, or actually leave it there in the middle and press a slash in the numpad, or just go here to view, and let me see where it is. Here, view global or local. And what this does is isolate this object. So now here we have the user perspective local, which means that we are only seeing the object that we had selected. All right, so the rest of them had been hidden, and you can see that there is no layers anymore. All right, so we can keep working on this to focus ourselves only on this object, and then we can press a slash again in the numpad to go back to the original scene. All right, to unhide every object. So let's model the carrot. So I'm going to select this, the top part of this, scale it down a lot, and bring it up. And what I'm actually gonna do is to, I don't want this to be an hexagon. I want it to be a square. I mean, squared polygons. So just select these 2 vertices, press J, and they will be joined. So now we have, instead of one hexagon, we have 2 4-sided polygons. Just do the same down here. J, okay. And now let's figure out the shape of the carrot. So let's bring this down a little. And one by one, I'm going to add little new loops and move them and scale them. Right, something like this. So Control R, left click, drag to select where we want it, left click again, and now scale it to adjust the shape. Okay, keep in mind that you have enough subdivisions, because now we are going to divide it again to make that kind of holes the carrots have. So what I'm going to do is to add a subdivision surface to see the final shape. Okay, so let's select these guys. I did the lasso select by pressing Control and dragging the left click button and So scale this down. Okay, something like that. Add a subdivision here, add another one here, another one here, another one here, here, and here. Then we can adjust them a little bit. And just do it again. So one here, here, here. There are lots of ways to do this faster. Okay, we could subdivide them just selecting all the loops and all that stuff, but you know, I'm going pretty fast, and sometimes you don't stop to think about the best way to do something because it is something really simple, and you know, as they are not so many, you can just go ahead and do it this way manually. So now what I'm going to do is to select this way alternatively, because these ones are going to be scaled in a minute like this. And now I press S for scale and Shift C. So as you can see now, the X and Y axis have been highlighted, and I can do something like this, right, to scale only in X and Y, something like that. Let's exaggerate these ones a little bit. And this, of course, doesn't look very natural. So what I'm gonna do is to add a few more subdivisions around here, right, to play a little with this shape. And now what I'm gonna do is to press O or go here and select connected or enabled. So we have a soft selection activated, and we can start playing with this to make it look a lot more organic. All right, as you drag to move stuff, if you move the scroll wheel of your mouse, you will increase or decrease the amount of the soft selection. Really nice tool. So yeah, just play with this as long as you want. Or you can sculpt the carrot instead of modeling it this way. You know, I'm just going very quick because we have several things to do in this tutorial, and I don't want it to take infinite amount of time. Okay, so we have this. Now let's just do some very big adjustments to kind of, you know, with Alt and right click to select a full loop, and to give the carrot a more interesting shape, not just a straight one. Okay, so we can rotate this, something like that. Okay, now press smooth. Okay, it's kind of an interesting shape. Press slash in the numpad, and now just move it up, put it in the nose area, rotate it in the x-axis, and there we have our nose. It's amazing. Crazy nose. It could be like a hat or something for an elf. Well, it's kind of cool. So let's move it here and place it something like that. And we can rotate it a little. Essentially slide it down. We can probably make it even more organic by also moving it in this this way. There we go, and there we go. Okay, a pretty interesting nose, right? Okay, so we have our nose. Now let's make the mouth of this guy. So we can just select these few guys, press I to inset, something like this. Select these ones, and extrude in. As you can see, it's not a very happy expression, right? So we are going to make we're going to make it look a lot happier. So just select these guys, and with the soft selection still activated, we can kind of model a smile in his face. Bring this up and create this nice smile for it. So he's smiling now, and we can even bring this side more to the top because he's really happy. Can you see it? Okay, so a cool smile. So the reason why I took these faces in the inner mouth a lot to the back is because later, you know, when we illuminate the scene, we are going to depend on this cavity to draw the mouth with shadows, right? So if it's very slight, we are probably going to see it, but it's gonna be a little difficult. This way, it's going to generate some nice shadows inside, all right, some dark shadows inside, and that will allow us to see a little better the smile. Okay, so this is it, and wow, just wow. Look at that. Well, I just have to what the hell, let's try to rotate the face. Shift S, cursor to selected. Just click here and press dot in the keyboard. Alright, so we rotate around the cursor and just move this. And well, this is my bad, okay? It was an error of me. So now I have to adjust this these faces. Okay, let's with O or just clicking here, disable the soft selection, and we have to adjust the scarf again. I mean, probably you don't. I have because didn't pay enough attention. This is what happens when you don't pay attention. I was, you know, astonished by the cool nose of this guy, and couldn't help but put it in the opposite side. Okay, there we go. All right, this will do it. Okay, now it's a lot better. All right, so now let's model the hat of this guy, and as we did before, just start from here. So select this loop, press Shift D, right click, and P selection. So we can just go and select this one now. Okay, and I can select this, press S, C, 0, and so now we have a plain circle. All right, it's not completely circle because we sculpted the face of the guy, but it's kind of adjusted to the shape of the head. Okay, so now let's go to the edit mode, and we can start extruding. And so extrude it like this. Now we can extrude inside like this, or maybe use a fill grid. Yeah, Control F and grid fill, and let's see what we can do with this. The offset, span. All right, this looks a little better. There we go. This is the point. Okay, and now from here we can extrude, press X, S I mean, to scale. Okay, now let's press Control R and drag an edge up there, a loop, and another one down here to just increase the shape of the hat. And now let's put this here, bring it down with G, Alt and right click to select this loop and bring it a little up like this. Okay, and now we can play with the shape of this a little like this. Exactly. And what else can we do? Okay, let's just add here a Solidify modifier, and the Solidify modifier, I'm gonna put it on top of the subsurf, okay? This way I can increase the thickness. Something is weird here. So I select, I go into the edit mode, I select everything with A and press Ctrl N. This way all the normals are put together. And let's make the offset at 0 so it grows on both sides. And what else? Let's increase the subdivisions. You know, this looks pretty nice. But looks pretty nice until we are going here to just go to the vertices, press O to turn on the soft selection, and let's start playing with it because I want it to be a lot more organic than this. Okay, so let's make it a lot organic, very organic. Just move shapes around until we are happy. I mean, I'm happy already, but if this is a little more organic, I will be happier. All right. All right. So here we have it. Now let's go here and press smooth. So we smooth it out, and now bring it down to adjust it to the head of the guy. This is pretty cool. Okay. We may even rotate it around a little, like this, or maybe not because later we are going to put the camera here, and I want to see from the camera the top of the hat and all this area because we want to store some snow there. All right, and the way to do it, I mean, if the hat is like this, we are not going to see those areas, right? So let's put it something like this, and here is an intersection. Be careful with that. And there we go. Okay. Okay, so now let's create a button, the buttons that we are going to use for the eyes. So let's first go to the top view with 7, and what I can do is to press Shift A and create a new circle, and this circle we have 8 vertices. This will be enough. And what I'm gonna do here, let's see, okay, let's fill it with an hang-on because I'm going to divide it now manually, and press slash in the numpad again to just focus on this area. So what I'm gonna do is to just go ahead, extrude this, scale it in, or we can actually select everything and press I to inset, right, and do something like this. Now what I'm gonna do is to select these vertices, press J to join them, these two, J to join them, and we have this. So this is basically what I need at the moment. Okay, I can just select all this and extrude them up a little, something like this. And now what I'm gonna do is to actually delete all this. And I'm going to explain to you now why. Why should I delete this? I'll tell you. I selected again this with the lasso tool, which is Control, then left click, drag. Okay, so now we have only 1/4 of our button, which is exactly what we need. And again, I'll tell you why right now. So we have this, we can just select everything, move it a little up, and I'll tell you why right now. So we are going to work in 1/4 because now we have to create a hole here. And it would be very repetitive to just have to create that hole 4 different times in different parts of the button. So what I'm gonna do instead is to work on 1/4, create one hole, and the rest replicated with mirrors. So let's go to the top view so you can see it, and let's add a modifier, a mirror modifier. Let's make this a little bigger so you can see this. So this will be the left, right mirror in the x-axis, and activate clipping. So the vertices in the middle snap with each other. Collapse it, okay? And let's create a new mirror modifier. This will be the top button mirror. There we go, and this will work in the y-axis and activate the clipping. Collapse it again. Let's create a new mirror modifier, and this will be called depth mirror. Activate the clipping, and this one will work in the z-axis. So as you can see now, we have the depth as well. So we can just go here, select these two edges, move them down, and they will be clipping there. And all the rest of the quarters of the button are already working as we expect them to work. So what I'm gonna do now is to create the hole in this area. So let's press extrude and right click, scale. Okay, and we have a problem here. We actually need to inset. There we go. What's happening is that the scaling, which is something that, you know, is exactly the same that the insetting, or almost the same. And I used to use that method, all right? But in this case, it's better using the inset, because in the scaling, when we press right click to cancel the extruding and start to scale, what happens is that these vertices here in the borders are already clipped, and we cannot move them unless we go back and disable the clipping in the mirror modifiers. Okay, this option. So in this case, I just used inset. Now we are going to use loop tools, which is this few nice tools here, and the way you can activate them is to go to the preferences or pressing Ctrl-Alt-U, and here in the add-ons just search for loop, and this is the one. You just activate it and you will have these options. So now I select this one, I press circle, and it will be converted into a square. Now a square is not a circle, of course, but a four-sided circle is a square, so it's what we need anyway. So just all right, leave it there because we can move them later. Now extrude it to the middle, and there is clipped. All right, now press X, delete the face, and we already have our hole. And we have 4 holes in our button, which is almost done already. So add a new modifier with a subdivision surface. Add 2 subdivisions so we can see better what we are doing. And now probably we want this these holes to go a little more to the middle, like that. Okay, something like that. You can see how we can do crazy stuff with them. But let's leave them like here. And we can work and make it smaller or bigger. You can see that it's much more easy now because we only have to work in one of the holes, and the rest of them will be done automatically, so we can very easily tweak them. Okay, so okay, leave it there and probably make it a little smaller. And now just go here like this, press circle, and move it around. So this way the vertices surrounding the hole are not stretched, right? Like these ones. These ones are already in a plane area. We don't care too much about them. And actually, if we go here and press smooth, it should look right. Okay, so this is kind of our button, and yeah, this is it. So we can probably work a little more and you know, add some details. For example, just go here and add a few loops here so it looks more something like that. Yeah, so this is the point. Okay, so we have our button, and now we have to place it on the you know, on the face of our guy. So let's actually go press slash in the numpad. So we are here, and let's put it. You are here. Always in the opposite side. I don't know why that's happened. Right, so make it smaller. Now just go here and place it. I was watching Troy the other day, and this remembers me when someone died and they put like the coins in the eyes for Caronte. All right, and this is remembering that to me. Okay, now press Shift X and just move it to the other side. Rotate it a little so it's more, so it's not exactly the same position, and just move it a little more. Move it a little down. And even if we want to make it like, you know, like if it was a different button or something, we can make it a little smaller. All right, so there we have our guy. Okay, next step. Let's make the face and the body feel like they are snow. So we are going to add some displacement to them. So let's go here and actually increase a little the subdivisions. All right, quite some an important amount. And let's go here and add a displacement modifier, which is here, displace. There we go. And this is really cool. We are done. All right, just joking, of course. So let's go here and create a new texture. And this texture will be called face display. Fit displace. There we are. The direction will be normal, for example. Let's control a little the strength. And you can see that mostly we don't have to do anything else. It's already pretty interesting. Something like that. So it feels more like snow now. If we go here to the textures, here we can select some of the things. So here is the displace, face displace. And here we can tweak this, you know, the size of the noise, as you can see. Right, this is I feel something pretty cool already. Okay, so now we have to go to the body, and what I'm gonna do is to actually select the body, press Shift and select this one, press Ctrl C, and I think this is something that you have to as well enable it in the add-ons. So if you go here, copy, all right, this is the copy attributes menu, which is very handy for these situations. So you can press Ctrl C and copy modifiers, all right, or copy the selected modifiers, because I only need the displace. I already have a subsurf in it. So there we have it, and we go here and add some subdivisions like 4. And now what we can do is to tweak this thing. Okay, let's go here to the texture, and actually let's click here to make it unique. And instead of face displace, I'm gonna call it body displace. All right. So now if we go here, this is body displace. There you have it. And here, this is the face displace. So now we can tweak this texture, and it doesn't, it's not going to affect the face. All right. So this is what we need exactly, because now we can like decrease a little the size of this texture, so it fits the size of the face, but not, you know, so we can tweak them separately. So this with this is kind of cool, and you can probably increase or decrease the strength 0.05. All right, I think that's kind of very similar. All right, now we want to make some snow here in the hat, and this is gonna be very simple, as you will see now. So let's select the areas where we want some snow. I want all the top covered on snow. There we go, and even just pick something like this, all right, so we can play a little with snow falling through the sides of the hat. There we go. Even here as well a little. And now some parts of the hat here. Something like that is cool. So we press Shift D, right click, P selection. So now we have another thing here that we can move up, and we kind of already have some snow there, right? Let's press Control and let's see how this is working. All right, something like that. So what I need to do now is to actually tweak the Solidify settings. Right, probably some more thickness, or tweaking the offset a little, or maybe leave it like it is. We're going to tweak it manually. So these guys here, let's press O to activate the soft selection, because we need to move it like that. And instead of enabled, I'm gonna use the connected mode, because the connected mode what it will do is that if you know, these vertices here are connected, but these are not connected to this area. All right, if we press L, we can select the connected vertices. You can see that these are alone. So if we move this area, the soft selection won't affect this area, which is exactly what we need right now. So let's move this. Let's make some adjustments up there. Just make this like you know, some bulge or something, because there is a lot of snow in the head. Move this down a little. So as you can see, it's pretty funny to do this. I love to create this kind of organic things. I enjoy a lot doing it. Alright, so we kind of have already the top of the hat. Now let's play a little with these ones. And what I'm gonna do here is to select this edge and extrude it and bring it down like this. Like it is a piece of snow falling through the side of the hat. Something like that, and again create some bulging here to make it appear like you know, we have a lot of snow there. And we can probably extrude this and make it like grow through the wall of the hat. Scale it a little. Make sure that everything is touching the surface, because it's very easy to miss it and do something like this, but then it's not touching the surface and it looks a little unnatural. Right, also we have to keep in mind that this is some kind of cartoony effect. I mean, I'm not looking for exceptional realism here in this scene, but well, if we can do it better, we have to do it better. So let's actually play with this again. Extrude it and make it fall down a little. If we put it like this, it looks like there is a little amount of snow there. Something like that, but we have to make sure that it doesn't go like this. Right, because if it's under the hat, it looks you know, we are not seeing it in this from this shot, because the camera will be looking like this, so we are not going to see the under the hat. But well, it is better to have it in a nice way, so we can keep strutting this and do something interesting with it like that. All right, next thing, we have to select this. Probably select this. Now this, press Ctrl C and copy selected constraints. No, sorry, copy selected modifiers. And what's going on? Solidify and subserve. Let's this one and now this one. Okay, I did it in the wrong order. Right, copy selected modifiers, and I want to copy the displays. Keep in mind that the last one you have to select is the one with the actual modifiers. I just missed that. Okay, so here we have our displays, but the subsurf is not enough, so we can increase the subdivisions, and well, it's actually working pretty cool. I mean, I don't think we even need to change the displays for the hat. Okay, it's kind of working pretty cool. All right, so we can just close this, and close the solidify effect. So as you can see, we already have our snow in the hat, and it already looks like snow. The next thing we could do is to just create the floor and stuff. And the way I'm gonna do it is, you know, kind of probably not the best way to do it, but I'm gonna do it anyway, because for this, I'm just going to duplicate the body, make it a lot bigger, scale it down, and actually let's go to the front view and select the bottom part, as we don't need it, and delete it. So now we can just play with it, you know, scale it down, play with it like this. Okay, even go ahead and modify the shape. And we already have some kind of floor. So, and as you can see, we already have our displays and everything set up. So we just move it up so the surface is touching the snowman's face. And what I'm gonna do here is to actually add one more division, subdivide. Okay, and now I'm gonna play with this a little, so the surroundings of the snowman kind of better fits the snowman itself. So let's the display is not gonna see it, but let's see the subsurf effect. And this way we can also play a little more with the, you know, more detail to the surface. As I said, this is not the best way to do it, but it's kind of a different way to do it. A lot faster, but not very accurate and not very efficient, to be honest, because as you can see now we have a lot of polygons in the borders and stuff, but well, it will do for this image. So we can play with this, and there we go. Okay, actually let's do it like this, because I was working again in the wrong side. Okay, so now let's try to probably go to the texture, the body displays, click here to make it single again, and put here floor displays. There we go. And now we can decrease the size, maybe like 0.05, even less, something like that could do it, or probably a little more, 0.1. All right, that's not a lot, but it's good. And we can probably reduce the strength of it, 0.01 maybe, or 0.03. If we increase this, what happens? Okay, let's make it a little bigger, 0.2. Okay, this is a little better, and we can go here and put 0.02, and even 0.01. Let's check. 1.5. Oh, 1.5. There we go. Like this. All right. So now, before proceeding further, what I'm gonna do is to actually make sure that the views subsurface and the render one are the same, right? To make sure that then when we actually render the final scene, it renders at 5 subdivisions. All right. And now the view, we can just decrease it to work more smoothly. So increase this to 4, increase this to 4 as well, and here increase it to 4. All right. So now instead of reducing these guys to 2 subdivisions, what I'm gonna do is actually make sure that the buttons and stuff is not, you know, there are no intersections on top of them with the snow. All right, and also another thing that I would like to show you is the simplify option, because if we go here to the scene, we have this option at the bottom which is simplify, and if we open it, we can just press 1 for example, and all the subdivisions in the scene will turn to 1, which will make it a lot easier to work. So you can see 1, we can increase it to 2, to 3, and it will affect the whole scene. All right. Of course, if some object is in the level 2 in their modifier, if we turn here to 4 or 5, it will only turn up those objects that are actually having them. This one, for example, is not increasing, as you can see, because we have it set up to 3. All right. Well, actually, yeah, exactly. If we go to 5, this object keeps being the same. So let's keep it on 2, for example. So we already have our snowman model. We have the body, the face, the buttons, the carrot, the hat, the snow on the hat. So there is still a lot of stuff missing, like the background. We have to add some mountains, the snow, the compositing. So I decided to just cut this tutorial in 2 parts, and this has been the first part so far. So in the next part we will do everything that is missing and finish the project. So I hope you liked it, and see you in the next part.